being recorded.
Okay, today we will learn about basic operation on matrices. For today's lesson, you will learn to add and subtract matrices. Okay, so first thing, you have to make sure the matrix has the same order. Okay, make sure the matrix has the same order, and then you will add and subtract. If it is not in the same order, the matrix cannot be added or subtracted. Okay. Alright, take a look, for example here, matrix A. Okay, matrix A have two lines, two row and two columns. Okay, two row and two columns. So there are 2 times 2, 2 and 2. Okay, for matrix B, also have two row and two columns. So the order is 2 and 2 also. Okay. So when they have the same order, barulah boleh tambah atau tolak. Okay. So how to add and subtract? So we add or subtract the corresponding element only. Okay. A plus B. Okay. In A, they have A11. So A11 will be added to B11. Okay. Because they are corresponding elements. Okay. A11 and B11. A12 is B12. Okay. A12 plus B12. A21 corresponding to B21. So they can add to each other. A22 corresponding to B22. Okay. So we only add or subtract the corresponding element. Okay, we not cross between other elements. Okay, that's how we add and subtract. Now we go to example 6. Okay, in example 6, the question asks you to determine whether addition or subtraction can be performed. So remember, we need to make sure that the matrices are in the same order. Okay. Now we check for A and B. Okay. A has two rows and 3 columns. So the order is 2 and 3. B has 2 rows and 2 columns. So the order is 2 and 2. So these matrices have different orders. Okay, so the answer is no, no. No addition and no subtraction can be performed because matrix A and B have different orders. Okay, now take a look at B. Okay, B. C have 1 row and 2 columns. So 1 and 2. B has 1 row and 2 columns. So they have the same order. So yes, our answer is yes, addition and subtraction can be performed because they have the same order. Okay. E. Now take a look at E. E has 2 rows and 2 columns. F has 2 rows and 2 columns. They have the same order, so your answer is yes. Yes, addition and subtraction can be performed because they have the same order. Okay, G. G and H. G has 2 rows and 1 column. H has 2 rows and 2 columns. So no, your answer is no. Maksudnya when addition and subtraction cannot be performed because they have different orders. Okay, that's how you answer. You check, you determine, and then you give reason. Okay, so this example, the way to answer, you need to use the same 4 Question number 1 in extensive question. Okay, self practice 2.2a number 1. Okay, learning. The same way, like example 6, you answer for number 1. Self practice 2.2a. Okay, now we go to example 7. Okay, in example 7, the question needs you to find the addition and the subtraction. Okay, but make sure the matrices are in the same order. Okay, so C and D, you need to add. So C have 2 rows and 3 columns. D has 2 rows and 3 columns. So they are in the same order, so the addition can be performed. Okay, so how to add? Remember, we need to add the corresponding element. So this is how you write your answer. First step, second step, and third step. Okay, follow correctly. First step, when the question given C and D, we need to write down the matrices first. C plus D. Okay. Write down the matrix first. This is the first step. Okay. Second step, we add the corresponding element. You write down what numbers you are adding or what numbers you are subtracting. Okay. Now, the corresponding element for 10. 10 is corresponding to 14. Okay. So we write down at the first row and first column 10 plus 14 because the operation now is plus. Okay. Then we go to the second element at the first row and second column, 8, negative 8. Negative 8 is corresponding to negative 2. So you write down like this, negative 8 plus in bracket negative 2. And then 4. 4 corresponding to number 1. So 4 plus 1. Okay. Write down the corresponding element first. Okay. And then the same goes to 6, negative 11, and 7. Write down their corresponding element and the operation. Okay. This is the second step. Mesti follow the first one and the second one. Last one, barulah you write down the answer. 10 plus 14 is 24. Ini kat sini barulah kira lah. Okay. Write down the answer. Okay, so we have 3 steps. Okay, so now I want you to check. C, just now we have C is in the order of 2 and 3. D also 2 and 3. So when the same order is added, we will get the same order at our last answer. Okay, so final answer also the same order. So that's how you check your answer lah. Takut kita tersalah tulis. Okay, make sure your final answer is the same order as the question given. Okay, now we go to the second one. The second one is subtracted. Subtraction is the same way. It has 3 steps. First step, write down the matrix. Okay, matrix can have fraction and decimal in the same matrix. Okay. First step is write down the matrices and the soalan lah. Okay. The second step is you subtract the corresponding element. Make sure you write down the correct numbers for the corresponding element. Okay. Now we take a look at negative 2. Negative 2, the corresponding element is 18. Okay. The negative 2 minus. Why minus? Because soalan sekarang nak subtract. Okay. So minus 18. And then ambil the second element 5 over 6 minus 1 over 3. Tulis dalam pecahan saja, tak perlu tukar. Okay. Sebab boleh dalam satu matrik ada pecahan dan decimal. The second one, the third one, 6 minus negative 7 in bracket. Okay. So, sampai habis buat, sampai habis. This is the second step. The last step, barulah kita menghitung hasil jawapan. Okay. So, make sure you write down step by step. Jangan miss this step. Okay. Mesti tunjukkan your corresponding element. Sama juga untuk addition, sama juga untuk subtract. Okay. So, that's how we add and subtract. We add and subtract the corresponding element only. Okay. Walaupun di dalam bentuk yang berbeza, maksudnya dalam pecahan tolak perpuluhan, boleh ditulis juga. Okay. Don't worry, tak perlu tukar bentuk nombor tersebut. Okay. So this tambah dan tolak ni, you practice for number 2. Okay, tengok number 2. Dalam latihan, ya, extensive self-practice. Okay, number 2. Number 2 buat nanti. So in number 2, Number two, we have 3 matrices, and it is a combined soalan. Okay, let's look at number 2A. Okay. First step is write down the soalan, and then you write down the matrix. So P is 1, 3, and 4. Okay. So, tolak minus Q. Q salin balik. Okay. Kalau tak nak buat kurungan yang macam ni, you can also use this kurungan yang bracket ni. Okay. So, guna bracket ni pun boleh. Tapi semua soalan dalam bracket yang sama lah. Bentuk bracket yang sama. Okay. And then we have plus R. So, plus R. R 6, 7, 9. Okay. Kalau tak nak buat bracket ni, semua sekali buat dalam bracket ni. Bagi selaras lah kalau nak buat bracket ni. Semua dalam ni. Okay. Kalau semua dalam bracket yang tadi, buat bentuk yang sama. Okay. So, we have the soalan already. First step. This is our first step. Okay. Second step, you write down the corresponding element. So, 12 corresponding to 8 and 6. Okay. So, how you write your answer is at the same place. 12 minus 8 plus 6. Okay. And then 1. 1 corresponding to negative 2 and 3. Okay. So, we have 1 minus negative 2 in bracket plus 3. Okay. Next. Negative 3 and 0, 7. Okay. Negative 3 minus 0 plus 7. This, and then our last one is 4 minus 5 plus negative 1. Okay, contoh. Alright. So, our answer, this is the second step. Okay. Last step, last step, barulah guna calculator and start. Hitung calculate. 12 minus 8 plus 6. Okay. Then 1 minus kurungan negative 2 plus 3. Okay. Then negative 3 plus 7 plus -1, -2. Okay, this is the complete answer. First, write down the question. Second, write down the corresponding element. Last one is your answer. Okay, so your task is to complete B. B. Okay, A, I already gave your answer. Now you have to do B. Okay, alright, next. B, and also your task is number 3. Okay, 1, 2B, and 3. Semua ni lah. Okay. Untuk soalan 3, dia tak bagi any huruf. Dia terus bagi kamu the question. Okay, so number 3, just copy and solve. Copy and solve. Okay, next, example 8. Okay. In example 8, they are unknown. Okay, so given matrix D, matrix E, and B plus E. Calculate the value of X and Y. Okay. So make sure that before we add or subtract, make sure the order of the matrix is the same. So D has 2 rows and 2 columns. E has 2 rows and 2 columns. So they have the same order, so they can be added. So this is the answer for the addition. Okay, how to find X and Y? So first step, write down the question. Okay, B plus C is equal to what? Given, already given. So we write down the first step. In the second step, you substitute the matrix D and E. Substitute. Okay, so D is this one. So you write down first because in the matrix equation, it stated D first. So D at the front plus E. So E yang ni salin saja. Kat sini. Okay. So equal to answer yang ni. Given already. Okay. So we have here the second step. Okay. This is called as matrix equation. So now you have your matrix equation already. Okay. And then the next step adalah we write down the corresponding element. Okay, take a look carefully. So this one is corresponding to X and is equal to 8. Okay, so make sure you write down the corresponding element correctly. 2x plus 1, yang ni, plus x. Okay, so equal to 8. Kat sini. Okay, the next corresponding element, -3 and 2. So write down -3 plus 2. So it's corresponding to -1. Okay. Next, make sure you write down correctly. -12 with 7. -12 is 7. And last one, 5 plus what? And y. So 5 plus y plus what? Okay. So after this step, you add or you solve the this one. You solve the equation. You solve the linear equation. Okay. So this one, 2x plus 2x minus 1 plus x. 2x plus x, we got 3x. Okay, minus 1, minus 1. We solve and write down at here, the next step. Okay, so for numbers, -3 plus 2, calculate terus lah. Okay, so this one also numbers, calculate, and we got -5. So for this one, we have 2y, so we are going to 2y. 5 plus 2y. Okay, write down here. So this one, we call it as equal matrices. Okay, because left hand matrix is equal to right hand matrix. Okay, after this equal matrices, you need to compare the corresponding elements. Okay, so we have 3x minus 1 is corresponding to 8. Here, we compare the corresponding element. Okay, after we compare, we have an equation. So you solve the equation and then we can find the x. Okay, solve the equation and then we have our x. Okay, now negative 1 and negative 1, you don't need to compare anything. Negative 5 and negative 5. And our next one is 5 plus 2y. Here we have the unknown, so we compare 5 plus 2y to 13. Okay, write down the equation first, and then you solve, so we have our y. Okay, this is how to answer when the question substitute unknown in your matrix. Okay, write down the question, solve, solve the question, solve the, write down the question, substitute the matrices, and then you solve the matrices. Kalau dia minta tambah, tambahlah. Kalau dia minta tolak, tolak. Okay. And then you write down the equal matrices and then compare the corresponding elements. Okay. Pas compare, so we will get the unknowns. Okay. So if the question asks you to x to x plus y. If lah, if. Okay. If. So after we find the unknown, you write down another solution. Okay, then barulah ya. Okay, if lah dia minta tambah. Okay, tapi dalam soalan ni tak minta tambah pun, cari saja. Okay, so this example I need you to solve for 4 and 5. Self practice 2.28, 4 and 5. Okay, cara yang sama, kaedah yang sama, cuma matrix lain-lain lah. Okay, alright. But remember, make sure they have the same order, barulah boleh tambah dan tolak. Okay, so that's all for today's lesson. Okay, any question can ask at Telegram. And after you finish the soalan semua, self practice 2.28, after you finish, send me to Telegram your answer. Alright, thank you.